This is one of the hardest videos I've had to do in a while because it's about the mindset. And the mindset is one of the hardest things that we have to work with because it's always trying to make us go left or right, positive or negative. It's giving us influences to hinder us as well, constantly through our journey. And becoming a successful business owner or even successful in life, it's a conscious effort and journey to control the mind. And it's interesting because as I was trying to do this video, this is, I think right now, probably my 15th take of doing this video, because my mind starts to go of all the stuff I want to share and provide, but I want to keep this clear and very concise, because one of the challenges I know is I elaborate and rant on when I have a subject that I'm very passionate about. So let's talk about the negative aspects of the mindset. Some of the areas, and please, this is just my opinion. I don't want to offend anyone. If you feel offended, comment below. Tell me how much you hate me, and I'll, give you a hug and ignore you. But when it comes to the mindset, there's so many people out there that have blocking factors, negative beliefs, challenges. You poke the ego of someone's personally, and they react, right? They go into their primal instinct, either fight or they flight, right? And that's okay. If they do that, that's fine. But it's one of those things that we have to learn to develop, that when someone pushes our ego, right, and it wants to react, we have to ask why, right? And we have to ask, these 4 questions that are an amazing assessment tool, right, to be able to evaluate our emotions and our mindset. So Byron Katie came up with the book called The Work, and in the work there's 4 questions. Is it true? Is it absolutely true? How do I feel with the thought, and how do I feel without the thought? Now the questions might be a little bit different, but that's how I've interpreted them and how I use them. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a scenario of that and how I use it as an assessment tool. So say, for example, someone says, hey Brandon, you suck at marketing. So I have to go, oh my God, this is terrible. I take it on, oh, it's so terrible, right? And then I go back and I evaluate. Okay, Brandon, is it true that you suck at marketing? Okay, it might be true. I'm not sure. Let me go see, what happened? Why is everyone upset? Or why is that person saying that I suck? Then I look at it and I go, is it absolutely true? Then, no, it's not absolutely true. I don't suck. I'm getting results here. People are having great experiences. I'm helping people build business. So no, it's not absolutely true. Well, how do I feel? Question number 3. How do I feel with that thought that I suck at marketing? Well, I don't feel good. I feel kind of sad. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry that this guy's upset. I wonder what I can do to make him feel better. Oh my God, should I change? Should I do something different? Then I have question number 4. All right. How do I feel without that thought? Well, without that person's comment, what they're saying, I feel good. I'm doing a great job. I love the people that I work with. I'm excited. I'm learning, constantly learning, developing. So you kind of see how you can use that in your scenario when something, comes up and you have to evaluate and become aware of your scenario and your situation so you can keep moving forward. Because anytime a negative thing happens, it will stop you in your tracks. It'll stop you from moving forward. And this is why your mind is the most powerful tool that you can have, and it can take you to great, success and joy, or it can stop you in your tracks and just leave you there to fester and be in the quicksand. And that one of the analogies I give people is you just get sucked into the pain and the struggles, but you don't want to do that. So go back into the 4 questions. The first 2 are how to analytically assess what's going on. The last 2, question 3 and question 4, is how to assess the emotions. So is it true? Is it absolutely true? It's more analytical. Are you thinking about the scenario? You're evaluating it. And then the last 2 is how do you feel with that thought, and how do you feel without it? So you can see, feel. Right? It gets you to evaluate your emotions. So there's one scenario that I have that I know a friend of mine's going through. Is like when you're trying to establish yourself, you have that fear that, oh, should I be doing this or not? Well, here you go. Here's the evaluation. Is it true? Is it absolutely true? How do I feel with that thought? And how do I feel without it? And then you take action right away to number 2 and number 4. Well, if I, is it absolutely true? No, it's not absolutely true. I can do this, this, and that, and you write out that list and you go and you take action. You do that immediately, because it takes 21 to 28 days to create a habit, but it takes 1,000 repetitions to recreate the neuron pathways. And let me explain that. When we're tired and when we're fatigued, we fall back into old habits, old patterning, right? And you're like, oh, when I'm tired, I'm stressed, I eat. Or when I'm tired and stressed, I stop working, or I just don't want to do anything, or I go to bed. So those are patterns that you've created over time of dealing with situations. And doing it over and over again, subconsciously, that's what you want to do. So now you have to reprogram new pathways, new ways of doing things. And that's why when you create the first 21 to 20 days, you're creating habits of doing it. So you're trying to instill in the subconscious mind that this is what you want to do. But when you're tired and fatigued, right, it goes back into the natural patterns that you've created. So that 1,000 repetitions. So you have to be so cautious of your programming and conscious of what you do. So if I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it, now I have to go, okay, nope, I got to do it. So you go up, you get excited, and you take action. And you do that 1,000 times. And what you'll find is after 1,000, 1,001 time, when you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, you'll start getting up and you'll start moving towards you, like, what am I doing? Well, you've already programmed the body, and the body starts to do it. Your mind starts to do what it's naturally programmed to do. Now you've only did it consciously. You've programmed to do the right things and what you want to happen. Right? This is kind of your internal computer. So it's kind of cool. You have the power to do this. The last point I want to bring up is I'm going to talk this on a metaphysical level. We are so powerful as beings here. We can manifest and do anything that we want. All we have to do is be smart about it, plan it out, and let's kind of give you the evaluation that I would do for someone that's looking at metaphysics. So we have to have the energy around us that we want to do. We have to think about it. Right? Okay, so this is what I want to do. So we plan it, we write it down, we take that action of making sure that we are evaluating, assessing it properly. And then what we do is we test to measurable results. So you test in a small group. So you maybe test on yourself. Then you test in a small group in a test environment. And then you test it with your people that you're working, your business friends. You might call them clients. Right? You test it with them. And then you keep growing that out and you give it out to the environment. And as you do that, you'll start to see what's working, what needs to be modified, and you'll grow that energy. And that's the way you do it. Now, you're going to run into problems, but that's why I'm giving you this mindset of the evaluation. Okay, well, how do I do it? How do I change? What do I do to modify it? What do I need to learn? And how do I keep moving forward? And not letting your negative mind slow you down and stop you. In this world that we live in this body, in this meat suit, you need to think about one and one thing only. What brings you joy, right? And how are you going to do that each and every day, right? Bring that passion. Keep doing it. Taking those actions. Don't let anything stop you, right? Now, before I continue and follow up with that, this is not saying quit your job. Yes, you, the one that's going, oh my God, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to quit. Tell my boss, he sucks. I'm going to go in there and quit. No, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Take your time and evaluate and grow it slowly to the point where if, say, you're making, in your full-time job right now, you're making $50,000 a year and you have this passion thing you want to do. So what I want you to do now is grow that on weekends and evenings and keep growing it. Keep doing that passion on your part-time when you can do it to the point where you're making $50,000, and you can see that over the horizon. Now when you're at that point, now I want you to go a little bit higher. So make 55, 60. And I want you to do that consistently for at least 90 days. Right? Then evaluate. Then when you see if it keeps growing for the next 90 days, so we got 6 months in total, then make the decision. The reason why I find so many business owners, right, entrepreneurs, follow a passion, right, and jump and take a leap. And what happens is they haven't ran a business before. They don't have the energy around their business. They haven't had their system set up. They don't have you, your market, your marketing, your people, your systems. They don't have all that set up. So what happens is they crash, and then they get worried, they get stressed, they get in a fear state, and all this happens, and now they limit themselves of what they can do. But when you grow it properly and have that energy and build that, then what happens is now you just keep growing and keep going and keep going. So that's the end of this video, and like I said, I want to keep it shorter, under 10 minutes. If you want to be successful in this journey, in this meat suit that you're in this life, learn how to manifest what you want, and learn how to be a master of your mind and your emotions. When you can do that, at least become a Padawan, like a student of it, and keep learning, you will see so much more success in your life, personally and professionally. So I want you to comment below. Here's my homework for you. Comment below and let me know, what is the one thing right now that's stopping you from going to that next level? If you could sit there and go, oh, you know what? My mind says this. I have a limiting belief around that. Comment below. And I want to know, what actions are you going to take starting today to change that?